There are very few characters that have featured not only across multiple GTA games, but multiple GTA universes. You could probably count on one hand how many characters this applies to. But there's one character who's featured in 8 games, 8 GTA games, but he almost definitely won't appear in GTA 6, and that is Laszlo Jones. Some of you might not know who I'm talking about, but many of you will. He's featured in GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, GTA 4. It's 2 kind of DLCs, The Ballad of Gay Tony and The Lost and Damned, GTA 5 and GTA Online. Now, he was an off-screen radio presenter who was a familiar voice on radio stations across GTA games, but he appeared on screen kind of in person for the first time in GTA 5. He appeared in that kind of funny Fame or Shame mission where Michael and Trevor have to go and save Michael's daughter Tracy. Save is perhaps a bit of a strong word. She's auditioning for this kind of X Factor ripoff, and Laszlo is the presenter of that. And then there's a bit of a car chase, and they end up embarrassing Laszlo by making him strip down to his underwear and dance, and then they film it. He then appears in GTA Online, where he's somewhat of a prominent character, I suppose. He's helping the character in GTA Online and Tony Prince, Gay Tony, with the nightclub operation there. So you occasionally get phone calls from him and you can encounter him at your nightclub. So why won't he appear in GTA 6? Well, funnily enough, Laszlo Jones is actually a real person. Laszlo is not his actual name, it's his kind of nickname, but he is known as Laszlo Jones. He worked for Rockstar for many years, working across many of their games, obviously GTA games, and I think Max Payne and some of the Red Dead Redemption games as well. He did script writing, other kind of production work, and of course, in the GTA series, he did his radio shows. And he also had his own radio show in real life. It was called The Laszlo Show, presented by him, Reed Tucker, and Big Wayne. And I believe that Reed actually featured in one of Laszlo's radio shows in maybe GTA 4. I can't remember exactly. I don't know about Big Wayne, but I would recommend going back and listening to The Laszlo Show. It's not on air anymore, but there are episodes archived online, and I would recommend going back and listening to this because it's genuinely really entertaining. Big Wayne sadly died in 2014, and they did a farewell episode to him, and they haven't done any more shows since. And a few years after that, Laszlo himself suffered some further tragedies in his personal life. His sister and his mum both got cancer, and his dad had, I think, heart surgery. He's posted all about this on social media. He became his sister's primary carer, looking after her. So this was obviously a difficult time in his life. And in around 2020, after around 20 years at Rockstar, he resigned for what he said were personal reasons. Now, I obviously don't want to speculate on what those were. He had a lot going on in his personal life, but this was also around the same time as Dan Houser, one of the co-founders of Rockstar, around the same time that he left. We don't exactly know why he left, but from what's been said and speculated, we know it probably wasn't the most amicable departure. But he ended up setting up his own company, a new media company called Absurd Ventures. And this is a media company that creates video games, books, graphic novels, podcasts, animations, all sorts of things. It's fairly new at the moment, but it's getting off the ground. And Laszlo joined him at Absurd Ventures, and they now work together. Their latest project that they've been working on has recently been released. It's called A Better Paradise. It's a fiction podcast, from what I understand. It's supposed to be quite immersive, I think, and there's a lot more to it than that. But also Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick from The Walking Dead, appears in this as well. But obviously this is all very different to what they've done before. But the fact that Laszlo has now left and is working with Dan Houser at what can essentially be seen as a kind of rival to Rockstar, although on a much smaller scale, I think this suggests that Laszlo's appearance in GTA Online was probably his last in the series and he won't be coming back. And that's a real shame because Laszlo is a really great character, and I love that we have a character that transcends universes and that is such an original OG character from, the back in the Chatterbox radio days. It's a very familiar voice on the radio and a great character that's really embedded within the GTA universe. And Laszlo himself is obviously a very talented writer and producer in his own right. But it's clear that he's moved on with his life and GTA is kind of moving on too. So all the best to him in his new absurd ventures.